I'm Mary Ann Nelson, and I live in Mankato, Minnesota, which is about an hour south of the Twin Cities. My daughter, Rachel, was born with a rare genetic mutation. It's called Rett syndrome. My daughter was developing normally as an infant, and then around the age of 6, 7 months, she stopped developing, and then she went backwards.
Jill Vorst, I'm from Zimmerman, Minnesota. Both my youngest kids are medically complex and have genetic conditions. Elizabeth has an autoimmune disorder called ITP, and then Deacon James is 6. He was diagnosed with 22q11.2 duplication.
My name is Chad Cornelius, and I've been part of the Lead the Way Foundation for about a year. I have a friend, Allison Bowers. She is also on the board and has been for a number of years, and so over the years she's shared stories about what the foundation does and how it's impacting local families and the contribution the Greenways are making and the Lead the Way Foundation is making. And so I was really interested in learning more and being part of that.
So there was a time that my daughter could pick up a Cheerio and eat it, or she could hold a bottle. By the time she was 2 years old, she was unable to do any of those. My daughter is now 20 years old, and she has almost none of her physical abilities. She does not walk, she does not talk, she cannot use her hands for a communication device. She has seizures, she has scoliosis, she has a feeding tube. We've had multiple hospitalizations, but yet my daughter has all of her cognitive abilities. She's able to use her eyes to communicate. For the last 17 years, that's how she communicates, is through her eyes. To know that our daughter would never be able to talk, would never be able to swat a fly off her own nose, never be able to tell us if she's wanting something. It's essentially having an infant for the last 20 years of her life.
Elizabeth has an autoimmune disorder, so her body attacks her platelets with this condition. So you have low platelets, you have bruising, bleeding, all sorts of just yucky side effects, really feel yucky all the time. Tons of life-limiting restrictions, so you can't play, you can't jump, you can't ride a bike, you can't go to the splash park, you can't be a kid. And it was devastating. We tried some meds and they would work for a little bit, and then she would get worse. And now none of the medications are working. So this past year has just been really intense. And then Deacon James is 6. He was born in 2016. For the first 6 months, we spent going to ER to ER to ER to doctor to doctor to doctor. So it's visceral hyperalgesia, so smooth muscle pain. When he eats, he feels excruciating pain. We spent a couple of years with him not thriving at all. The doctors wanting to send him home with no food, no IV, no nutrition, nothing. And he still, is in pain most days, but we have a lot of good days too, and he's a fun little boy that loves Paw Patrol.
I've been attending the TendHer luncheon since the inception. I remember when it was a small group of women, and now it's grown to be something quite large and extravagant. The difference that I've seen in myself being able to attend these TendHer luncheons goes to the connection of the women. It also goes for me to understand the importance of my own self-care. And going to these luncheons and getting the swag bags, getting the services, allows us to get maybe a little bit of a taste or a nibble of what these things might be like, to see if that's something that we like. So the week or the year they had the hair, I totally got my hair done. And now I know for me, that's my self-care. For other people, it might be getting their nails done. But you don't know that till you try that, and this luncheon allows us that opportunity.
Tender Heart means compassion and that we are valued. Moms are often overlooked in society anyway, just that we're expected to have just such this burden of caring for our families, caring for our houses, our husbands, and all of these things. Tender Heart gives us that, you know, a little bit of a break where we're spoiled and valued and you get to feel like a person again.
I think one of the things that's really important is just like connections and support. I love that Tender Heart recognizes that these moms need support, and so they work really hard to create an opportunity for these moms to come together and just get a break, even if it's for a few hours at a luncheon. They get to connect with other moms, they get to share their stories.
Without Tender Heart, I feel like I probably wouldn't have the connections and the friends that I have and the advocates that I have for me.
These women have earned everything that they have and everything that they will get. They are walking a path that has not been walked before without the guidebook and without a lot of support. And if this one day, this one event gives the women the opportunity to build these relationships and to feel appreciated, it is well worth every dollar given. Thank you, thank you, thank you for understanding how important this is for mothers. I don't know how they came upon this idea, but it was brilliant, because here is an underserved group of people that nobody really knows about. It's not talked about, there's no logo, there's no walkathon, there's nothing for these women to get this support. And this Tender Heart Luncheon does that.